guys! Welcome back to my channel. Come and join me as we explore the world of literature from classics to contemporary, and as we develop ourselves by reading self-management books and doing physical exercise. Hello everyone, in this video we're going to talk a lot about self-help books. Well, obviously I am a big fan of this genre because it helps me on personal development and it also empowers me, which I am so much in love with and grateful for. So in this video, I'm going to give you a comprehensive information about my self-help readings featuring 3 great authors. What are the books that I read? What are the books that I'm going to read? And what are the books that I will reread? And most importantly, how this book changed or will change my life, as well as yours. But before we dive into the books, just a little bit of a disclaimer. I am not an expert. I am not a life motivational life coach. I will not give you a book summary or book review, but more of an opinion or personal reaction about these books. I mean, every reader has a voice, right? I am going to start with my favorite author, Robert Greene. I mean, I do have a lot of favorite authors, but you know, he is the one, like King of Kings, if you will. But I may sound ironic because of all his books, I have just read one, but it's enough to entice me. From my readings, I gather that, oh my god, he's got me. First, we will start with The Art of Seduction. At first, I was a little bit skeptical about reading this book because I thought it's about sensual seduction or physical intimacy or how to drive a person crazy about you. And then I thought, that's not my thing. I'm a natural. But kidding aside, it took me a year before I finally decided to read this book. I was browsing the self-help section in my local bookstore and I found it, and then I said, why not? But you know, I do have a habit of stacking books, like just purchase the book and leave it on the shelf. So basically, it took me another 3 months to finally read this book. But you guys, the first page was all it took me to be a fan of Robert Greene. I talk a lot, but you know, it's Robert Greene, why not? My favorite author, one of my favorites, favorite of favorites, best read, worth your time. This book will... Okay, so first let's start with the discussion or small chat about subconscious and the subconscious mind, because a lot of self-help books will deal about it, even the spiritual books. But let's focus first with the skills and leadership self-help books or management, if you will. So what is the conscious mind and how does it differ with the subconscious? Very simple explanation is that seriously guys, this is not a lecture, just a little bit of an overview, so please bear with me. There will be no quiz afterwards. Okay, so your conscious mind is the one which is responsible for processing ideas, especially when you are still at the part where you are still learning. The keyword here will be awareness. You are aware of what's happening in the world around you. And sometimes you will think that, hey, I know what's happening around me, don't you dare. But most of the time, you don't. But before you close this video and say that I'm just wasting your time by telling you that you're not aware of what's happening around you or you are not aware of who you really are, consider this simple example. When you wake up in the morning, you don't decide what you do. Your body knows already what to do. And you guys, it's different for everybody. Some will snooze the alarm, some will wake up and go to the toilet, and some of you will wake up and go and eat your breakfast, or some of you will wake up and think of the previous day about how bad it was or about how good it was. Some of you may wake up and instead think of what you're gonna do, about how good the day it is, or in the list about how bad the day will go. And don't you deny it. It's the first thing you do in the morning every single day. Except there's a special occasion, but the point is, it has become a routine. You don't have to think about it anymore. Even the brand of your toothpaste and which hand you use while you're brushing your teeth. By the way, I use my left hand, but I am a right-handed person. Kind of did it when I was in high school. I did it intentionally. Yes. That's weird. But you see what I'm getting at? It's the subconscious at work. It's good in a way that it's also bad, because people may use it to take advantage of you or you may use it to sabotage yourself. Remember how constantly you badmouth yourself? I'm so ugly, I'm so fat, I cannot do this, I wish I could be like that, I'm not confident, etc., etc. So yeah, that's the quick explanation about the subconscious and the conscious mind. But without further ado, let's dive right away with the book, The Art of Seduction. So this book will introduce you to 9 types of seduction, and you will think that physical seduction is the best, but spoilers alert. Robert Greene ranked it as the lowest type of seduction that you can use to attract somebody. As you go along the book, you would identify your seduction skill. Most of the time, it's a combination. This book would urge you to use as many as you can, master your seduction skill, and then adapt the others. This book also has a warning about the opposing type of each seduction skill, like if you choose this other skill, do not use this skill, because they are pretty much contradicting each other. And one more thing, this book has also a warning about the seduction reversal, which Robert Greene explained at the end of each chapter. You would also be acquainted about the seduction process and how you could get a person all in. Because after all, seduction is just a game. If you take it seriously, you lose. Most importantly, individual seduction is good, but mass seduction is even better. So yeah, this is The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene, and if you're gonna ask me, am I gonna reread the book? Positive, like over and over again. The next book will be also by the same author, Mastery by Robert Greene. What's your talent? Let's use it to maximize your potential without distraction. I have just finished the first chapter, but I stopped. Not because this is bad, but because this book would guide you into mastering your craft. How would you become a master of what you are doing? And then I was like, oh crap, I've got nothing to do. Seriously? What do I want to do in life? I get a little bit skeptical because I see no practical use of it just yet, not until these passing days, but I'm gonna keep that for myself. But you guys, when I uploaded a video about book indecision where I ask you which of the 3 books am I gonna read, I got a lot of votes with NLP, The Essential Guide, which is so good. By the way, I'm heading for that one first. But you know, if you really want to become an expert in what you're doing, you have to find out what you really want to do in life and then just do it without any distraction, without any excuses. And eventually, you would become so good at it, you would master it. You would become an expert. Mastery. And then the last book of Robert Greene will be The Laws of Human Nature. Oh my god. This was the last book that I purchased last year, and another freaking realization is that 3 books of Robert Greene is stacked like this. I must be a better person. You know what I'm saying? I have watched Robert Greene talk about this book in Google Talk, and I played it over and over because it was so good. And I think I watched a lot of him, most especially about interviews about his books, because I really enjoyed watching him talk about his books because he is just so cool. He's a genius. This book will give you details about the dark side of human beings. You know, it's better that while still young, your parents will tell you about the reality of the harshness of the world. People are not good. They will sabotage you or they will take advantage of you. That's the truth. So when you grow up, you know how to face reality. You know how to deal with failure instead of just simply giving up and blame everybody else for being so unfair. So yeah, these are my 3 books of Robert Greene. I'm planning to have his other best-selling books, but I'm going to read this first. Good luck for me. Next, we go on 2 of Tony Robbins' books. I know he has written more, but I just have 2 of his books. But oh god, these books are enough to transform your life. Tony Robbins uses a modern technology which is not expensive like the technologies out there because it is found from within, from our own mind. This technique is called NLP, or Neuro Linguistic Programming. I know the title is complicated enough, but it is just so simple if you get used to it. Neuro meaning the workings of our mind, how we actually think, and then linguistic, how do we use language in order to understand and interpret things, and then programming, how can we manipulate language in order to influence our own thinking as well as other people's thinking. NLP has an ethical consideration like we are manipulating other people, but hey, we all do it subconsciously. So why not bring it into consciousness? Does that ring a bell? So Anthony Robbins talked a great deal about the subconscious and the conscious mind. Now let's talk about Tony Robbins. We go first with his book, Unlimited Power. I have read it twice and I will be glad to reread it again. This book will give you power to be bold enough and ambitious enough with sense of entitlement. And you feel like you can see through other people. You know when they are lying or when they are telling the truth. You can manipulate your mind into not storing a memory at all if that is so unpleasant it hurts you every time you think of it. He also suggested an easy and quick way to overcome any type of phobia, which really makes sense than going into the past and recounting your life story over and over again, reliving your suffering time and time again. This book would guide you to master your emotions, get rid of your traumas, and be yourself. It would teach you that there is no such thing as failure, only learning and feedback, and who cares if you cannot get the result that you want right away. Actually, most of the successful people were. They just persevered. This book would let you master yourself first, and then after that, you could then move on to the outside world and win the trust of other people. But we know there's more to it than that. When people trust you, anything is possible, right? The next book of Tony Robbins would be Awaken the Giant Within. If you ask me, I want to get another copy of the book with different cover. I know I have a Kindle Paperwhite, I could use an ebook, but hey, it's Tony Robbins we're talking about. My personal opinion is that if you read these two books consecutively, you're unstoppable. Your friends may not know you at all, or they would notice the big change which happened in you, because it really has the power to transform your life for the better, if not for the best. And I quote from him, "Decisions determine destiny." And it really is. Whatever and whoever you are is because the decisions that you made in life. This book would allow you to take control of your mental, emotional, physical, and financial destiny. After reading this book, you would have a lot of realizations about your life, why you're living in your current conditions, and what you're gonna do to change it. Because a lot of us are just living life not knowing that we have the power to control it. I am not sure where he wrote the power of eating clean and the right combination of food for maximum performance. I'm not sure if it's in the Awaken the Giant Within or in the Unlimited Power. I'm sorry, but I suggest for you to read it both and figure it out yourself. But if you're not into reading, you may opt for audiobooks. I mean, you can listen to it while you're driving or riding a bus or doing the dishes. There's a lot of time if you know what I mean. And then let's talk about the last of my favorite self-help authors. But I know that Napoleon Hill should be on the list because I guess he's the father of self-help books. But I just have only read one of his books, which is the classic Outwitting the Devil, which was so good. Up to this day, I'm still reading my highlights and annotations in that book because it really gets me into getting into action, especially when I am drifting away. But I won't talk about him just yet, not in this video. The last of my favorite self-help authors is Roger Dawson because I became a fan of his personality types explanations and everything. I so adore him because he was a genius. He was so good. This book is You Can Get What You Want. I forgot the title. This book is You Can Get Anything You Want, but you have to do more than ask. I think it makes sense because if you are familiar with the law of attraction, that law will teach you to ask, believe, receive, but it somehow lacks the appropriate steps to get what you want in life because it teaches you to trust your subconscious mind to do the work. You have to align yourself with the vibrational frequency of what you want in life and then it will be given into you. As simple as that. If you ask me if the law of attraction is true, yes, it is. It's a universal law, and it's true. Anyway, this book will literally and figuratively make other people believe in your capabilities, and in return, you can get what you want in life. Is it a promotion? Do you want to get the first in line? Do you want to make other people change their beliefs? You can do it. And what I especially like about this book is that there are techniques into getting there. You just don't do it your way, because most of the time if you do it your way, you lose credibility. And worse, you may meet some enemies. In this book, you will get to know different types of people, and so use your knowledge about it to your own advantage. I mean, some people want to do things immediately, but some people just don't. They take their bloody time. 1 week, 2 weeks, oh my god. So, what would you do if you are the hustle king and you meet the turtle queen? How will you deal with it? This book will teach you that, and more importantly, you will be equipped in the knowledge of identifying them. But you know, I have another book which definitely dealt with the poor personality styles, but I will not tell it in this video. But you guys, let me know if you're interested, because I may make another video featuring another self-help books, because right now I just have remaining one book. It's Power Negotiating by the same author, Roger Dawson. I think I bought this compulsively. I bought it together with Robert Greene's The Laws of Human Nature. And it's the last two books of 2019, if you will. So, basically, I don't know anything about this book. Maybe it's about negotiating. But you guys, I bought it because it's from Roger Dawson. That's all. Haven't done any research. I am not the kind of a reader who buys a book aggressively because of the cover, but I am more of because of the author. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I hope you're still here. I am about to end the video. Just hang in there for a second. I'm almost there. But, wow, these books are my treasure. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 golden precious books which transform my life. I hope it will transform yours too. So, do you have plans in reading any of these books, or have you read any of it already? Please let me know in the comment sections down below, as I would love to hear it from you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on my next vlog. Bye!